Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to discuss about a topic which I am making on a public demand, and many people were requesting me that what are the combinations regarding civil services. So I am making this video today that how from anyone's horoscope you can see that whether there are the combinations regarding high government services or civil services or not. So I am making this video today. So first of all, the people who don't know that what civil services are. Civil services are one of the most reputed services in government sector in India, and they are categorized in 4 different kinds of services as administrative service, Indian administrative service, which we call it as IAS, then IPS, Indian Police Service, Indian Foreign Service, and Indian Revenue Services. There are other services also. So today we are going to discuss that what are the various combinations in Vedic astrology which signify that person can go into civil services, can get these types of jobs in his life or not. So first of all, we will discuss only the civil services here, and the combinations which I will tell you will apply for any government job, but here specifically we are dealing with the civil services. So here you have to just see that what combinations I am telling you are regarding the civil services, but you can apply it in any sort of government sector. So first of all, let's start with the planets which signify that the government jobs are signified by which planets, that we are going to look first. First of all, what planets signify government jobs are sun and moon mainly, because sun is the central government, sun is government in general, sun is the main government, the ruler of any country, of any government organization. Sun represents that. Moon is also government, but it is not the central or federal government, it is the state government or local government. Okay, now for example, like ministries are seen through sun because they are on a central level, but people who are in local or state governments, like in Ministry of State, or people who are MLA or all these things, they occur on a local level, they occur on a state level. So these types of areas are controlled by moon. Then other than sun and moon, Jupiter, Saturn and Mercury are main planets which represent government job. I am not including Mercury and Saturn here. Jupiter is mainly seen for administration, that's why we include it, because civil services are mainly for administration. Now why Saturn? Saturn is seen because Saturn directly does not indicate any job in government service, any government sector, but it is the main planet for career. No matter what career you are having, what sort of work you are doing, Saturn must be in accordance with your horoscope. If it is not, then it will create problems. It will not give you success. It will create ups and downs in your career. So Saturn is seen for the stability of the career. Other than that, Mercury is seen here for intelligence, because for writing the examinations, which are very tough, it is the examination of these services is considered to be as world's toughest examination. So for clearing that, you must have a strong Mercury, because if Mercury is not good, your intelligence is not good, and if your intelligence is not good, you cannot clear the exams in easily. So these are the main planets what you have to see which represent government sector. Now what are the main houses which signify government job, administrative job? First of all, it is the first house, fifth house, seventh house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth house, not eighth house, it is the ninth house, 10th house and 11th house. First, fifth, sixth, seventh, ninth, 10th and 11th. These are the main houses which are symbolizing the government sector. First house is all government, because first house is you yourself, and that is why first house is, if it is strong, if these planets are sitting there, this means that person can go into government sector. Other than that, fifth house is the house of learning, fifth house is the house of ministry. So fifth house must be strong. If fifth house is strong, this indicates that person will have that intelligence to qualify those examinations which are required for entering into these services. And other than that, fifth house represents ministry. When you get the job, you are placed in ministry as a secretary or any other position. Now sixth house is the house of service itself. So that is why sixth house. Seventh house is the house of, we say in Hindi as pad prapti, means seventh house is the house of high position. The position which these services give to a native are very high authoritative positions. So seventh house is considered for seeing the high position, whether the person is going to get it or not. Then ninth house is the house of administration. Since all these services are giving the position of administrative sectors, so administrative house should be seen. 10th house is the house of career. So if it is not strong, it will not be very likely that person will get into these jobs. Then 11th house is again dealing with government, financial issues regarding government. Now these are the main houses. Now what are the main signs? Main zodiac signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. These fiery signs represent government totally in detail. Other than that are Cancer, then Capricorn, Gemini, Virgo and Pisces. These are the main zodiac signs. If these zodiac signs are having prominent influence on the native, this indicates that person can go into these sectors in these civil services. Now let's talk about the combinations. What are the combinations which signify that whether a person can go into civil services through his horoscope? That we are going to see it now. Now first combination is when lord of these houses, that is first house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, ninth house, 10th house or 11th house, the lord of these houses are sitting together in conjunction in these houses. This indicates that person can go into these services. Now other than this, there are several other combinations, like there is a prominent influence on Lagna Lord. For example, Lagna Lord is sitting with these planets in conjunctions like Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn. If Lagna Lord, ascendant Lord is sitting with these planets in conjunction in these houses which represent government sector, then this indicates that person can go into government jobs in civil services. Now other than that, you have to see the position of the 10th Lord, where your 10th Lord is placed. 10th Lord position is very important because it signifies that what will be the most proper sector in which you can get the maximum success. So if your 10th Lord is sitting with these planets like Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and it is sitting in the houses like first house, fifth house, sixth house, ninth house, seventh house, 10th house or 11th house, this indicates that there are very high chances that you can go into government services, high reputed services like civil service. Now other than this, what you have to see is there are several kinds of yogas, there are several kinds of combinations in Vedic astrology which you have to see that whether they are occurring in the chart of the native or not. So what are those combinations? First combination, first yoga is Raj Yoga, Kendra Trikona Raj Yoga, and in Kendra Trikona Raj Yoga, that too you also have to see that if, what is Kendra Trikona Raj Yoga? Let me tell you, when the lord of the Kendra houses and lord of the Trikona house sit together in conjunction, then it creates Kendra Trikona Raj Yoga. So Kendra Trikona Raj Yoga is very important, and in that too, when the two planets of first house and ninth house are sitting together, ninth house and 10th house planets, that is lord of 9th house and 10th house, are sitting together in conjunction. These two Raj Yogas specifically are considered very strong regarding these services. Other than that, when the lord of two Trikona houses, that is 5th house and 9th house, are sitting together in the Kendra houses or Trikona house, then it is considered very strong and auspicious regarding government job. Now what you have to see next is the other yoga which you have to see is apart from Kendra Trikona, you can also consider the 10th Lord and 11th Lord sitting together in Kendra or Trikona houses. That this is also very strong combination for government sector, for government jobs, for civil services. Other than that, the next yoga which you have to see is the Lagna Adhi and Chandra Adhi yoga. What is Lagna Adhi and Chandra Adhi yoga? When benefic planets, what are benefic planets? There are 3 benefic planets. What are 4 benefic planets actually? They are Venus, Mercury, Moon and Jupiter. So when these planets are sitting in 6th house, 6th, 7th and 8th place, these planets are sitting in the 6th, 7th and 8th place from the ascendant, then this creates Lagna Adhi yoga. Lagna Adhi yoga is created. Now what is Chandra Adhi yoga? When these benefic planets, that is Venus, Mercury and Jupiter, are sitting in 6th, 7th and 8th place from your moon, then this creates Chandra Adhi yoga. So these 2 yogas are very highly, are considered very auspicious, highly auspicious regarding government jobs. Other than this, the next yoga which you have to see is when full moon is placed in 9th house. It is very important. When full moon is placed in the 9th house in a good sign, it is considered highly auspicious, highly strong regarding government sector jobs. Other than this, the next yoga is Panch Mahapurush Yoga. Panch Mahapurush Yoga, there are different kinds of Panch Mahapurush like Hamsh Yoga, Bhadra Yoga, Malavya Yoga, Shash Yoga, Ruchak Yoga. 5 kinds of Panch Mahapurush Yoga are there. So if these yogas are occurring in the horoscope of the native, then also it indicates that person will have extraordinary capabilities and he can serve well in these types of services. He can go into these types of services. The next yoga which you have to see is the Gaj Kesari Yoga. Gaj Kesari Yoga means simply that moon and Jupiter are in conjunction or aspecting themselves or are in Kendra from each other. That means moon and Jupiter, for example, moon is in the 7th house, Jupiter is in the 10th house. So now moon and Jupiter are in Kendra from each other, 4 places and 10 places from each other. So this creates Gaj Kesari Yoga. Gaj Kesari Yoga is very important because moon and Jupiter now here are increasing the administrative capabilities of the native, because Jupiter is your administrative capability and moon is your mind. So when mind is getting influenced by the leadership, by the administrative capability, person will have these types of qualities which are needed in these types of services. So this yoga is considered very important. And the last one which you have to see is the Buddhaditya Yoga. Buddhaditya Yoga means Sun and Mercury together. Sun and Mercury means government plus intelligence together. So if Sun and Mercury are sitting together in these houses like 9th house, 10th house, 1st house, and in good signs, this indicates that not simply I am saying that if anyone is having Buddhaditya Yoga, it is very common yoga, but this does not mean that any person who is having this yoga will go into these services. It is not that. This yoga, if you are having, adds on to your possibility of getting into these services. Okay, so Sun Mercury together forms Buddhaditya Yoga, and this yoga is considered auspicious regarding these types of services which are civil services. Now when specifically you have to see that what type of service the person can get into, like there are 4 kinds of services. 4 kinds of services are there in civil service. There is not just IAS, other than that there are IPS, IFS, IRS, so and many more, but I am telling you regarding 4 only, because these are the main services which are considered in our Indian government. So first of all, IAS, Indian Administrative Service. For seeing the combinations regarding Indian Administrative Service, Jupiter influence is must. When Jupiter is very strong. Jupiter must be strong. If Jupiter is strong, is having a very strong influence on the Lagna Lord, on the and sitting with the Sun, Moon and Mercury, or sitting with the 9th Lord or 10th Lord, and in the houses like 1st house, 5th house, 9th house, 10th house, or in any Kendra or Trikona houses, this creates very strong yoga, very strong combination for Indian administrative service specifically, because here now Jupiter is creating giving administrative qualities to the native, and these other planets are increasing that. So you must see the position. First of all, just see the position. I am making a note here that you must see the position of Moon and Lagna Lord, because until and unless you are not seeing the position of Moon and Lagna Lord, you are not going to get a proper idea that person will go into these services or not, because Moon and Lagna Lord position mainly signifies the whole personality of the person. If the personality is not that capable enough to go into these services, he cannot go. So Moon and Lagna Lord should be strong. Other than this, you see the combinations like Jupiter, Sun and all these things. So for IAS, these combinations should be there. Now the other one is IPS, Indian Police Service. Indian Police Service, for that Mars influence is seen. Mars must be strong. So Mars if sitting with the Sun, Moon, Mercury or Jupiter or Saturn in the houses like 1st house, 3rd house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, not 8th house, 9th house, 10th house and 11th house. If it is sitting in these houses, this create a very strong yoga for Indian police, going into Indian police services. The other than this is next service is Indian Foreign Service, IFS, which we call it. For this Mercury and 12th Lord should be strong. Mercury and 12th Lord should be strong. If Mercury and 12th Lord are sitting together along with Sun, Moon, Jupiter, the Lagna Lord and Saturn, if they are sitting with these planets together in the houses like 4th house, 8th house, 9th house and 12th house, if these planets are sitting together in these houses, this create a very good combination for going into Indian foreign services. Because what foreign service officers do, they are the diplomats, they should have that diplomatic skills. So Mercury here provides them diplomacy skills, diplomatic skills. 12th Lord is seen for foreign placements, foreign going into foreign lands. So 12th Lord influence must be there. If Jupiter, for example, is sitting in the 12th house along with Mercury or with Sun, this indicates that this is a good combination for going into foreign services. But it is not like that. I am just telling you a general combination. It is not like that if you are having this combination, you are becoming the IFS. You must see all the combinations together, put them together and then analyze. Don't just judge by a single combination in your horoscope. There are different areas which you have to see. You have to see the strength of all the houses and all the planets. Now the next and the last service is Indian Revenue Service. In Indian Revenue Service, what we have to see is the influence of Mercury and 8th Lord, because Mercury is all regarding revenue, all regarding accounts and audits and taxes, and 8th Lord, 8th house is the house of taxes, house of government duties. So when and revenue service deals with this. So when Mercury and 8th Lord are sitting along with Sun, Moon and Jupiter in the houses like 2nd house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, 9th house, 10th house and 11th house, if it is sitting in these houses, this can indicate that person can go into Indian Revenue Service. Okay, so these are the specific combinations for regarding these particular services. And general combinations I have told you for going into civil services previously. Now, apart from these combinations, what we have to look is when there is the conjunction occurring, just see that what are the degrees. The degrees matter a lot. If the conjunction is happening in a light manner, it is not very strong, that is the degrees are very the planets are very apart from each other. For example, there is a difference of 15 degrees, 18 degrees between planets, then it is not considered a conjunction actually, because this conjunction is not strong enough to give you the results now. So just see that whether this conjunction is occurring at the right degrees or not. The most proper degrees are within 8 degrees, within 5 to 8 degrees is considered good and strong. So just see the degrees of the planets, and apart from degrees, see the nakshatra in which these planets are sitting. See the nakshatra in which your sun, moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Lagna Lord are sitting. If these planets are sitting in the nakshatras of sun, moon, Mercury and Jupiter, then it is considered very strong regarding your civil services prospects. Okay. And specifically, if I should tell you, there are certain nakshatras like Purv Phalguni, Uttar Phalguni, Magha and Revati. These are the nakshatras which are mainly signifying government officials, mainly signifying people who are at authoritative posts like civil servants, bureaucrats. They are symbolized by these nakshatras. So see the nakshatras, they play a huge role, because a planet gives the results on the basis of nakshatra, because nakshatra is the main force, main energy source for guiding that planet to give the results in the person's life. No matter what sign it is placed in, what house it is placed in, they will come afterwards. But first, by the force which planet will be guided is the energy of nakshatra. So nakshatra should be seen, that what nakshatra, in which nakshatra these planets are placed, and they play a huge role. So you are not analyzing them, you are doing the 50%, actually 40% work, I will say. Then all these combinations what I have told you right now, you have seen in your Lagna chart, that is main birth chart. But apart from main birth chart, what extra you have to see is in divisional charts. There are 2 divisional charts in which you have to see the similar combinations what I have told you. They are D9 chart and D10 chart. I have made videos on the analysis of both of them. You can watch it in the playlist of the channel, and you will know that how you have to analyze both of these charts. Again, I am saying D10 chart is very important. D10 chart, the Dashamsha chart is very important, because it is the main chart which signifies your career, which represents your career. If you are not analyzing that chart and you are simply saying on the judgment of your on the basis of your main birth chart, you are just doing the 50% work. You are not going to get through the actual accuracy if you are not analyzing the D10 chart. How to analyze that? I have made 3 videos along with examples. You can watch it in the playlist of the channel. You will be able to know that how D10 chart and D9 chart are analyzed, what are the steps you have to see, what are the steps you have to take while analyzing these charts. So if your D10 chart is also saying that yes, there are combinations, your D9 chart is also saying that yes, there are combinations that a person can go into civil services, then it is highly likely that you will go into civil services. So these are the various things, various parameters you have to keep in mind while analyzing the combinations regarding civil service, because they are very important. If you are not analyzing the divisional charts, you are not going to get that accuracy, okay, in your prediction. So these are the various combinations which occur, which you have to see for civil services, and these combinations can be generalized for any sort of government services. I am not going into detail with some other departments, but in general, if you are having these combinations, there are high chances that person will go into government sector, government jobs, and person will enjoy high status in life if he or she is having these types of combinations in his or her birth horoscope. So these are the combinations what we have discussed about civil services specifically. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below. For more information, check on my Twitter and Facebook page. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video with some more curious topic to discuss. Till then, goodbye and thank you.